Hey, everybody. I hope you guys are doing great tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. I really have been looking forward to meeting up with some of you guys. I've talked to you on the success community, and I've noticed we've got a lot of new people here in the 1099 CRNA success community, and that just makes me so happy. This community has been great for all of us. Everybody who's come here that has had questions have received very kind responses. And, you know, that's the spirit of this community is we are CRNAs, we are peers, and we are here to nurture each other and just make each other able to have a better life through being a 1099 CRNA. So the reason I'm coming to you tonight is because I have exciting news and, you know, that just happened today. And it just makes me so happy that I was just bubbling over. And I just needed to let you know that I got a call today from one of my enrollees from the 1099 CRNA Freedom Masterclass. And he told me some amazing news. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. But first, I just want to tell you a little bit about the 1099 CRNA Freedom Masterclass. You know, I dreamed this class up a long time ago, and it really took this last year of not doing a whole lot because I had a hospitalization. But the good news was I spent a lot of time writing this content that I've known most of my life because I was raised in a family of business people. But having the training of a CRNA blended with a business person, you know, I've helped so many people start their own 1099 lifestyle. And I call it a lifestyle because really and truly, you are freed when you are not W2. You know, and I do know it's normal to be W2 at first, but it is just such an uplifting and a lighter experience when you're a CRNA and you're 1099. So, but anyway, so I designed this class with you guys in mind. And because I'd always wanted a class like this. And, you know, no one ever was there for me one-on-one as a CRNA after I graduated anesthesia school. And I really feel like that is a gap. So I'm trying to fill that as mentorship. Very important. You know, we were never really taught a lot of financial stuff. We weren't taught how to manage our practice independently, or even if we worked in an ACT, it doesn't matter the environment. If we're 1099, we're still running our own business in the eyes of the IRS and the eyes of the US government. So we need to know how to do that in order to maximize our savings, maximize our retirement. And we need to know how to do our bookkeeping. Has anybody once taught a CRNA how to do their own bookkeeping? You know, I don't think so. You know, and so one CRNA to another, I teach in this master class how you can do your own budget, manage your own bookkeeping, manage your taxation, and all of the cash flow strategies that allow you to retain most of your income. But there is one thing more. The key to all of this, the secret, really, that I'm passing on, the heart of the matter. So I'm going to go ahead and open my slideshow real quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. So bear with me. I'm going to switch the slide settings so you can see what I mean. Okay, so the number one reason the 1099 CRNA Freedom Masterclass enrollees succeed, and they do, I've heard one story after the other. Why is it that once they take this class, suddenly the doors open and what they've intended happens and they succeed? Why is that? So after a little bit of thought today, after this amazing phone call that I'm about to tell you about, it hit me. It's empowerment. I'm basically teaching empowerment. I'm teaching you the strategies that it takes to be successful as a 1099 CRNA, empowering you through mentorship. Because one of the things that 1099 CRNAs are never taught is where do you find the really cool jobs? So I've learned that over the years. I've been doing this for about 20 years. And so I've created an app that I present in Unit 1 that shows you exactly where the ASCs are, exactly where the critical access hospitals are, and, you know, and then I teach you a whole method of how to find that job. It's called the fetch method. So Anyway, I teach you how to do this in Unit 1, and then we go from there with setting up your LLC, deciding which kind of tax structure to take on, and it varies depending upon your situation. So we go all the way through that. Then we go into, actually learning about the taxation, about the deductions, the expenses, and that sort of thing. But then the next thing that goes on is we start talking about personal branding and how do you get that accomplished so that when you walk out of your negotiation, when they go to look you up, how are you going to look to them so that you're going to be the most attractive CRNA, that you could possibly be, to show that you are truly a professional. Okay. And then we get into the key to what I think the empowerment piece is that I teach. And I am just so blessed that I'm able to teach this. I was gifted with the power of negotiation. And so I've taught it to so many other CRNAs, and that's what I teach in my class. I have an actual 2 CEU class that is specifically on negotiation. So let me tell you about this great phone call that I got today. So one of my previous students, he was a W2 about 3 months ago, and he signed up for my class and took the entire 10-week class. And at that time, it wasn't independent study. Like now you can either go to the lives or now you can do the independent study. So there's 2 methods. And, but at that time it was all live. So he went to all of the lives, he saw the CPAs and the financial advisors and all of that. But when he called me today, his voice was just so joyful. And he said, Alesia, you are changing the environment for CRNAs all over the country. He said, by teaching this information that about negotiation, he said, I have just increased my pay from $130 an hour to $175 an hour. He said, that happened in just a period of 3 months. He's like, over my lifetime, that is just worth so much. And I feel better every day when I go to work. And furthermore, he said, so then he was negotiating for his second position. And a friend of his was sitting out in the hallway waiting for him, and he could kind of hear some of the words that were coming out of his mouth. Well, it wasn't just his friend that was down the hallway, but a gentleman came out of another office and walked into the office where he was being interviewed. And the gentleman looked at and he said, hi. And he said, I wanted to introduce myself. You're a CRNA, correct? And my enrollee said, yes. And he introduced himself as the CEO of the hospital. He said, we just are having a new turnover in anesthesia. We no longer have our old anesthesia group, and we're doing it on our own as a hospital. And we want to hire CRNAs just like you. So when you're finished with this negotiation, I'd love you to come into my office so we could talk. So that's what he did. After his very successful negotiation, he went into the office of the CEO and he sat down, and the CEO just hammered him with all these questions. What is it that CRNAs want? What kind of pay do they want? What are some of the other things that they are expecting? And he educated this hospital CEO as far as pay rates go. He said no locums will work for less than $150 an hour. He said they require 8-hour minimums typically, or they'll go work somewhere where they can get that. And on and on. He just went through the list of what 1099 CRNAs expect. And, when he walked out of that meeting, he said that he had the most amazing feeling. And his friend said to him, I could hear you down the hall and you just sounded so confident. How can you be so confident? And he said, the reason I'm so confident is because I've listened to Alesia's negotiation lecture now 3 times solid. He said, I heard it live and that I've listened to it twice since then. He said, and now I feel really secure in what my intentions are when I go into a negotiation, and I'm able to do it. So it just really elevated me. I mean, he said that because of my class, that the CRNAs all around the country are going to have a better situation. And that just makes me so happy that I can make that kind of a positive impact. And I love the idea of being a mentor. I love teaching, and I'm so glad I could have the opportunity to make changes in our whole CRNA world. So this is just another testimonial I want to share with you about the course. I just want you to know about it because we're going to be starting Unit 1 for this course next Wednesday. And so, our sign up is drawing to a close. Our enrollment is drawing to a close. So I just wanted you to be aware of this opportunity that you've got. You can go ahead and sign up and get used to the educational platform and that kind of thing so that by the time we start Unit 1 on Wednesday, you'll be ready to rock this. And if you've ever felt like you need a freer, more flexible schedule, then this is the course for you. So this individual is saying that they were tired of being limited and working in a toxic work environment, and that this course gave them all of the tools, and that I did hold their hand every step of the way. And actually, I am available through personal messenger. Anytime you have a question, you reach out to me. If you want to meet on Zoom and us practice, that is fine too. So this person made it successfully as an independent contractor. They now make more money. They know their worth. That's the other thing I teach. I teach an entire course on CRNA productivity. And as well, I have Jan Menino, the lawyer in CRNA, who comes in and teaches contracts, because of course, contract law, right? And reimbursement. So, and she and I together are coming up with an open your own office-based practice class to be part of this course. Here's another testimonial. I found Alicia's post. She was starting a beta class. I joined the group right away. Her class is jam-packed with all the information and resources one needs for a 1099 position. She helped me negotiate my 1099 position. See, it's empowerment. It's really knowing that you are capable of doing this and knowing how to go about it and learning the words. So this person had not gotten a raise since 2016. So I gave her the tools, she gained the confidence, and she got a $25 raise, paid lunch, and a 10-hour minimum. So she was so happy. So this is somebody that was in a place she wanted to stay, and she just needed an increase in rate. So I just wanted to let I'm enrolling now for our July class. And so if you would like to be inspired and motivated, if you want flexibility and scheduling freedom, then join our 1099 CRNA masterclass. You'll learn so much from each other. There are CRNAs from all over the country in this class, and the networking is just amazing. You may be working with people that you're in class with down the road. So it's just awesome. So I wanted to share that with you. It's just really was uplifting for me. And so, another person said, this class has helped me navigate 1099 with confidence. So here's my website, www.1099successacademy.com. And if you go to that, you'll see this green enroll button. Go ahead and click it and change your future. Open your world up. Step out of your comfort zone, but do it with a mentor so that it's easy. And that's all I want it to be. I just really want this to be not intimidating and actually a very pleasant method of going 1099. So I hope you'll join me and the other enrollees, the other CRNAs, as we take this trip together. So thank you guys for joining me. It's been an honor to be here for you, and I look forward to meeting each and every one of you. You guys have a wonderful evening, okay? So I'm going to stop sharing screen and just thank you again. Thank you so much.